Well, as you can see, we are over 9,000 now, almost 130 over 9,000. So it is time. It is time, and we're trying to get a little bit more timely about this. The last time we did a major contest at 8,000 subscribers, we didn't actually initiate the contest until I think we were over 300 subscribers past the milestone. So Hans and I have been working a lot behind the scenes in getting things ready. And I also wanted to, before we call him, so he can share in his own words the contest that we're going to do and what you need to do to win this major giveaway. I wanted to share with you what can you win. I wanted to share with you the item itself. So let me move over to the workbench, and I'll kind of zoom out a ways. There we go. Well, you can already see the case kind of around that partition, so you already know it's a Swedish Beauty, right? And I recently unboxed this Swedish Beauty, which happens to be a very rare Type 8E. It's a Type 8E, and you don't find these very often. They're very, very hard to find. So this is going to be the giveaway prize. I'll kind of stop on it for a little bit. And it hasn't even gone through my restorative process yet. So if you think right now as you're looking at it, boy, is that a beautiful machine. Boy, does that look good. You're absolutely right. And it's going to look even better when I get done with it. So listen closely when Hans gets on the phone with us, because he's going to share all the particulars of what you need to do in order to win this fabulous machine. And I'm going to come off the tripod. We did a little test call, and I can tell that it's going to be a little bit hard to hear him with our connection. So I'm going to see if I can disconnect from the tripod, and hopefully we have enough juice in the battery to get this done, to get this entire process done. So let me do this. I'm going to set the phone down for just a moment, or set the camera down. Blah. Pick up the phone, set the camera down, and I will try getting Hans on the phone. Oops. What did I do? Okay.
Hello, Scott.
Hey, Hans. Yeah, I just did a little intro, and now we are live. So I'll try to get real close to my phone so that everyone can hear you, and you can share the particulars of what they need to do to win. I already showed them on camera. I'll turn the phone around just briefly. I already showed them on camera what they can win.
Oh, that's a nice machine, Scott.
Yeah, it's a Type 8E. Yeah, Type 8E. So I think it's a great giveaway prize, and hopefully we get lots of people that jump into the game to try to win it. So how are you doing today?
I'm fine. I'm fine. Well, I think with a machine like that, I think a lot of people are going to take part in the competition. Should I reveal, say more about the task or the requirements for taking part?
Yeah, absolutely. If you would share all the details of what they need to do to win the contest, all the requirements, if you would, that'd be great.
Yes. Well, the task is to make what the story we would like is to be to take the role as a travel agent, Scott and Bill, they are planning a trip to Norway. When this COVID situation is over, I hope I can see you both. And the contest is about planning a travel to the two countries of Norway and Sweden. These are two Scandinavian countries. And as a travel agent in the contest, the participant should plan a dream journey for you, Scott. and for Bill too, seeing this part of Scandinavia for the first time. And I suggested some places to visit here in my country, Norway. In the entry, you should in the contest, the person writing this text should make sure that the two of you experience some fun activities. So the main task is to describe those activities and use your imagination to write something that's interesting and that is appealing to the viewers. Some places I've suggested. These are all the suggestions. You could also find other places, and perhaps some of your visitors or your viewers, Scott, have already been in Scandinavia, so that could be something to build on. But some suggestions are, there is a Viking ship museum in Oslo with 3 nice Viking ships. These were found around the Oslo fjord. So one task related to the Vikings could be to describe the daily life of the Vikings back in the Viking days.
Oh, that sounds cool.
Suggestion.
I just said that sounds like a cool task to describe Viking life and all that. So
I'm not sure if I would wanted to live in those years myself, because the average life expectancy wasn't too much in those years. But that's the one suggestion. The second one is to describe something around the fjords on the west coast of Norway. That's a very pretty area of Norway, and a lot of tourists go there. So I think to make a suggestion of some exciting experiences around the west coast. And there is a small city called Geiranger. That's a very famous little city, and a lot of the cruise ships go into that. It's a very little town, but it's well known, and it's I think it's one of the World Heritage sites too. So that's something to visit as well. And the third suggestion is a place not far from where I live. It's the Olympic city of Lillehammer, known for its 1994 Winter Olympics. There are some arenas and some cultural sites around that city, and a lot of tourists go there as well. So, and it's not too far away from me and my sewing machine collection. So I'm sure Bill and Scott would like to have a visit to my place as well.
No, of course.
It's only like 45 minutes from Lillehammer.
Yeah, definitely.
So, yes. A fourth suggestion would be to visit the Sami people. They live in the northern part of Norway, and also Sweden and Finland, and also into Russia as well. And the Sami people, they have their own flag, their own language. So one possibility could be to describe the daily life among the Sami people in the north of the Nordic countries. So that's some suggestions, and in the contest, a participant could also find another task, another nice location to visit in Norway, but that's up to the person taking.
Let me just ask a couple questions, if I may, Hans, real quick, just to get clarification. Yeah. So they're going to act as if they're a travel agent, and as a
yes, that's correct.
Yeah, as a travel agent, they're going to put together a travel package. Each one of them is going to make their own travel package, and to try to make it fun, exciting, and attractive to Bill and I, so that we find that their package is superior and sounds like it'll be more fun than any of the other packages, is how the person becomes a winner?
Yes, that's correct. So, of course, we are 3 judges there, and I think we're going to have a lot of fun reading the entries, and as always, we will pick the winner, the best the best text submitted. So I think I really look forward to reading the entries, and I hope for a lot of entries for this contest.
Does it have to be?
Forget,
does it have to be based all on fact, or can it be some fiction like the last contest that we did?
well, of course, we love fiction. We love a good mixture of fact and fiction, and I think the winner will supply us with a good mixture of both. So I think that's important for the persons taking part to be aware of. So a good mixture of fact and fiction is something we like, of course. So that's for sure. So that's a good idea. And we shouldn't forget the second part of the contest, and that's dealing with Sweden. And for those knowing me, they know I started collecting the Husqvarna sewing machines. I have a lot of them in my collection, and they are made in a small city called Husqvarna. Well, actually, this city is no longer existing because it merged into the larger city of Jönköping. So this is in the southern part of Sweden, in the south bank of the lake Vättern. And in this museum, they have a lot of items on display. This company has made a lot of products, not only sewing machines, but a lot of other products. But as a part of this factory collection, there is a very special sewing machine. And what's impressive with this machine is that it was submerged in water for whole 58 years, and that's a long period to be submerged into water. And this is a task that the contestants must try to find out of, why this machine was submerged, what happened to this machine. Well, it wasn't only this machine that was submerged, there were others as well, but this specific machine is on display in the Husqvarna factory museum. So the task is to find out, to describe what happened to this machine, and perhaps in one of my coming letters, I will tell about this story, but of course after the deadline for submission, of course. So
sure.
And there are also two other very special sewing machines at the factory, and only two of them are known to exist. Only two of these very special Husqvarna machines are known to exist, and I think to be the winner, you should also describe the name and type of this machine and why there are only two of them left. So, so it's a kind of a mixed contest. The Norwegian part acting as travel agents, and the Swedish part dealing with those two very special sewing machines. The first one being the submerged machine, sitting underwater for 58 years. And the second one is this very special machine, only known to exist in two known examples, or two kinds of this last machine. So, so it's I think the people has to start to prepare for the contest and use Google, use different tools available to them, and we're waiting for the entries, and we will of course be. I really look forward. I'm glad to see all the contests, all the entries in this contest, and of course everyone would like to win this very special green machine, and being prepared by you, Scott, and it's a machine for the future. It's a machine that with high quality in production and high quality in your work present, Scott. So I think it's a machine to really want in your sewing studio or your sewing room. So I really hope for many entries to this contest.
Let me just ask one question. You referred to this special place that has these machines as a factory. Did you mean to say museum? It's a museum over in Sweden, isn't it, where they have the machines?
Yes, it's. Well, to be honest, I didn't visit it yet. It's on my list, but this summer I planned it this summer, but because of the COVID-19 situation, it was not possible to go there. I could go to Sweden, but the Norwegians wouldn't let me in without 2 weeks of locking me up.
Oh, the quarantine stuff, sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to going there, and it's since 2006 for mechanical machines and around 2010 for electronic machines. The production is now closed in Sweden. There are some development work at the factory, but the factory museum is actually in part of the factory building that's still standing in the old city of Huskvarna, now being part of the Jönköping. So you can go there. It's open all year around, and for people visiting Sweden, it's a good chance to learn more about machines and also all the other products that this company made. They started with guns and rifles, and they produced a lot of other stuff, motorcycles earlier, chainsaws, garden equipment, and a lot of household appliances over the year. Even microwave ovens and heat stoves, a lot of stuff. But the sewing machines are, of course, very famous. Also the chainsaws and a lot of other products. And meat grinders.
And I was going to say, Hans, it all started with a king's decree, because the decree of the king of Sweden is really what got the ball rolling for all of that. And I want to say it's right around 1872 that the first Husqvarna sewing machine actually rolled off of the lines. But yeah, they made so many cool things there, and so. Now I understand. So folks have to understand that this location is not only a museum, but it's co-located with the original factory where these machines were made then.
Oh yes, it is. So, and the name in Sweden, hus means house, and kvarn means mill. So it's a place where the house mill was standing. So the name means the house mill. And of course, it was very close to a river, giving power to this old mill. So the name tells something about the location, and that they had the hydro power for running these old mills. And of course, this was a good place for the king to place the production of this big gun barrels, because you have the hydropower, and you have also because this Great Lake is the second largest lake in Sweden. They could ship the guns to other. It's not part of the ocean, but it's the second largest inland lake in Sweden. So they had it was easy to transport goods out with the ship, and also the hydropower for giving power to the factory. So they've been it's been an industrial site for more than 350 years now. So it's a place of tradition. So I think that the king made a good choice placing the factory there. And now, more than 350 years later, we could benefit from having nice stock of Husqvarna machines. Later Husqvarna Viking, that's the name now, and it's now controlled with two other well-known sewing machine companies in one big company. But the Swedish machines were produced on that location for more than how much is it? 125 years, more than that. So it's a long tradition. So
Absolutely, absolutely. So, would you? I'm gonna do my best to. I was going to say to recap it, but I think it's better if going back to Norway, because we have. It sounds like we have two parts that make up this contest. The first part is the suggested sites that you gave as far as where they would talk about them and give details and make it appealing, and it can be a combination of fact and fiction. And if they have additional sites in Norway as well that they want to build into their travel package, then you'll allow them to do that as well. And then so I think that's fairly clear. They have some discretion, they have some decision that they can make as far as, do they use the suggested sites, do they use their own sites for the Norway side. Did I get that right?
yes, correctly. That's correct, Scott. So it's up to the person taking part in the contest whether he or she will choose one of the suggested sites or pick their own. And about the Swedish part of the contest, it's about describing why this machine was submerged and how they managed to pick it up from the water and why it stayed submerged for 58 years. That's a very long time. So I can tell one thing: it wasn't salt water, because I guess after 58 years in salt water, the machine wouldn't be much to pick up. But the machine is on display. It can sue,
and that machine itself that machine itself, Hans, is on display at the factory museum.
Yes, it is.
Okay, okay.
So I think people can manage to use do some research and find out what happened to this machine. But if I give too much details, the task would be too easy. So
yeah. Make them work for it.
University college, Scott. So I'm used to, if the tasks are too easy for the students, that's not good. So you have to add some depth and
challenge.
Yes, you have to task. The task must be a little kind of challenging to the to the people taking part. So,
I think everyone I think everyone gets the Norway part. They understand the part of the contest for Norway. They understand this machine that was submerged for 58 years. And then you talked about some other machines as well that they need to speak to. Can you touch on that again, please?
Yes. I can tell. I think you have to dig in the older part of the Husqvarna stock. The older part of the machines. There is a very specific, a very special machine that's known to exist only in two examples. There are only two versions or examples of this machine, and one is on display at the factory museum. So a few words about that machine, the name of it, and why there are only two of them left. That would be interesting. So I think this time there is the persons taking part in the contest have to do some research. They have to be creative. They have to address the two main parts of the contest, and we hope for some fun and interesting entries. And I really look forward to reading the entries, and together with you, Scott and Bill, I will we will pick the winner from all the entries. So and I think with this green Husqvarna, there must be a lot of entries. So because everybody would like such a nice machine. It's very special. I don't have that exact type myself. I have several others, but not this 8E. So because they are very rare, I haven't seen them. I have seen only one or two here in my country, and I know they are very rare, a very strong solid machine, and with your preparation, Scott, it will be a very special machine. I think even better than when it left the factory in the early 60s.
Well, it's going to be it's going to be a fabulous Swedish Beauty to win for sure, and I appreciate you spending so much time with me to work out the framework for the contest. I think the contest is challenging, it's fun, and it gives all of the people the opportunity to apply, their minds, but also their creative spark as well. And I'll be curious as well to see, what they come up with in researching. Especially the Swedish side will be fun, I think. This very special machine, and then also the other machine that was submerged for such a long period of time, and then also being able to read their travel plans for Norway. And now when they do the travel plans for Norway, it's strictly for Norway, right? It's not for, they don't have us traveling into Sweden too, or do they?
No, we would like at least 150 words, so but we are not expecting a novel, so we have to restrict the contest a little bit, because we don't want to kill people with a very heavy load of this contest. I think the Norwegian part is being travel agent and finding those fun sites, fun activities to do, and the Swedish part is dealing with these two machines. The first one is the submerged one, and the second one is the machine that's only known to exist in two examples. And so that's a framework of
Sure.
of the contest.
I just wanted to clarify because I didn't know if people would make an assumption, since we're looking at Norway and Sweden, that they would be doing the travel plans to cover both countries, but you want them strictly to do the travel plan as the travel agent in the country of Norway, and then the separate task is to act as a kind of a researcher and a reporter and talk about these two very unique machines and their circumstances then.
Yes, that's correct. And what's fun, Scott, is that we hope when this very special COVID situation is over. I had a trip planned to the US this summer, and it was, of course, I couldn't go there because everything was cancelled. But this trip and the factory trip to the Husqvarna factory in Sweden is something that you, Scott, and I have talked about. So this could actually be something that we will do in the future. So it's this could actually be something that will happen in the future. So
oh, of course, yeah, I would love to. I would love to come and visit you, but like you said, we have to wait until all this crazy COVID stuff goes away. And but I would love to come and visit you, and of course, you already know, with all the pictures I've seen and the little video clips of your dog, I want to meet your dog too.
Yes. My dog is looking forward to that as well. So you will meet my family. So
yeah, the whole
yes,
family.
So yes, but I think the first step would be this contest for the 9,000 subscribers. So yes. So I hope people start writing, start collecting information, because I think the Swedish part of the contest would you should use Google or some other search engine to get the facts you need to take part in the contests. But I think it's not that hard. And in one of my letters, after the deadline of the description, I will give the full story of the submerged sewing machine. So
Hans,
very special story.
How much time do you think we need to give them to? How long should we run the contest? How many weeks do you think we should give them? If we start the contest, say in October, should we give them until the beginning of November, or what are your thoughts? Since this requires a little bit more research, a little bit more work than the previous ones.
think it's more up to you, Scott, to decide the actual dates to fit your schedule. But about 1 month looks. It sounds okay to me. So, but
Okay.
I leave you to take the final decision on that. But about 1 month sounds reasonable to me.
Okay. Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking is 3 or 4 weeks, giving them enough time. We don't want to drag it out too long, but at the same time, we want to give them ample time. Some people are starting up with different work schedules again. I know you have as well, and life gets busier, so to give them ample time to, to accomplish the tasks and to get things posted and that. So.
Yes, absolutely. So.
All right, my friend. Well,
I hope.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yes, I hope people will take this chance to get this very special machine, and also to take part in this fun contest and use their creative parts of the brain and can fulfill this mission. So I'm hoping for a lot of entries in the contest. So.
Well, me too. And like you said, if one of them comes up with a really, really good travel plan for Norway, who knows, in the next couple of years, you and I might have a chance to actually put it to the test. That would be fun.
Absolutely. And Bill is also included in the contest, and I hope to see him here as well. So, yes.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. All right, well, I'm gonna wrap things up. I'll let you step away. I know it's quite late in the evening for you already. It's going on, 9 o'clock almost. So,
yes.
And you probably have had a busy enough day, but I appreciate all your work in helping to pull this together. I appreciate your creativeness in making the contest very interesting too. So I share your outlook. I hope we get a lot of people that will throw their hat into the ring and will come up with some wonderful pieces that we can all read and enjoy. So.
Okay. Thank you very much. Let the contest begin, and let all the creative brains start working on this very special contest to win a very special machine.
Well, and I'll ring the bell that not only signifies the beginning and the ending of the class, but we'll also use it in this case to signify the beginning of the contest. So the contest is officially started. All right, my friend. Thank you so much.
Okay.
All right. Have a good evening. Yep. Bye. Well, that was great to talk with Hans, wasn't it? What a neat guy. And I think that the two of us have come up with a contest that is just fabulous. And it's going to give people an opportunity to really apply themselves. And again, the goal, just like with the Kissimmee or Kissimmee contest, was to learn more about where Bill was from. The whole idea of this contest is to learn more about where Hans is from, the unique qualities of Norway, the things that beautiful country has to offer, and then because Sweden is so close, and because everything that we're doing around this also builds into the factory museum in Sweden. It's also a great opportunity to learn more about the history of what happened there too. The two machines that Hans shared about, and what you need to do now in researching to find out the information about that machine that was underwater for 58 years, and the other very unique machine that is only found in a few select places. I think he said 1 or 2 other places a machine like this is located. So we have 2 mystery machines in Sweden that you have to dig into and get all the facts, kind of like a researcher and a reporter, and write something really interesting about that. And then you have to put together a travel schedule, a travel plan as a travel agent for Bill and I to travel over and visit Hans, either in the locations that he gave as suggestions, or he said he's not going to require those. So you can pick your own locations. You can do research on Norway and find out the most attractive places, the appealing places, and then build your case within your creative writing piece as to why you feel that your travel plan and the places that you selected are the best travel plan possible, and that's why Bill and Hans and I should pick it. Hans is going to be our host when we travel over there, and then Bill and I are going to be the travelers. So very fun contest, very cool contest, and I think everyone that decides to jump into it is going to have a lot of fun. Plus, the winner is going to get an amazing machine that, according to Hans, there's a lot of Husqvarnas over in Norway and in Sweden. He sees them all the time, but he hasn't seen this particular make and model, this particular model, this Type 8E that I'm giving away in this contest. So that tells you, if it's not readily available in the country of origin where it was made, in Sweden, and Norway being so close to Sweden, then this is a machine that you want to try to get your mitts on to add to your personal collection. It's a machine that is extremely rare. I've only seen this one, and then one other that I had prepared for my friend Juliet. So they don't come up very often. You see a ton of the 21As, the 21Es, the 19Es, the 19 specials. You see a lot of those machines, and certainly all the other Husqvarna machines as well that we've talked about on this channel. But you're looking at a machine right now on camera that even over in Sweden and in Norway, this machine is considered rare. So over here in the US, this is a machine that is ultra rare. So you'll definitely want to consider jumping into this contest for the opportunity of trying to win it. And just like in the other contests that I've done recently, if you're in the US and anywhere between California and North Carolina, basically coast to coast, then if you're the winner of this contest, then you're not only going to win the machine, but it's also going to be shipped to you free of charge. Free of charge. So you get a free Type 8E plus you get the machine delivered to your doorstep free of charge. Now, the only exceptions to that are, again, going to be Hawaii and Alaska, and then also if we get any entries that are international, then we would have to look at looking at that shipping cost and sharing the cost. I'm not going to push all the cost on you as the winner. I'm going to probably look at splitting the cost with you. So not only am I giving you an extremely rare machine from my personal collection that I will ensure is in top-notch running condition, and it's already gorgeous. You can see that on camera. But I'm also going to share the cost of getting that machine to you as well. If you're in Alaska, Hawaii, or international. If you're not in any of those three situations, then I'm going to pay for the shipping completely to get it to you anywhere within the U.S. I don't know. I think the list, if there is a list of YouTube channels that specialize in vintage sewing machines, if there's anyone else out there doing contests like I'm doing, every time they hit 1,000 new subscribers and reach that new milestone, and they're giving away a fully restored machine, I'd like to hear about it, because I like to give them a pat on the back and give them kudos. But I think I'm the only one out there in the world that is specializing in vintage sewing machines and willing to reach into my own pocket, or in this case, my own collection, and give away one of my machines that is an incredible treasure. And this Type 8E is an incredible treasure, even as you heard Hans say. So this is the beginning of the contest. I already rang the bell for the beginning of the contest, and now I'm encouraging you to get out there, do the research. By all means, if you have questions that need clarification, you can post them on Facebook in conjunction with this premiere announcement. Don't make a submission and get it wrong and then be disqualified or not be selected. If you're going through your process of writing your piece for Norway and writing your research piece for Sweden, and you're unsure about something that Hans said, then post it there, because I know Hans will be monitoring that very closely, as will Bill and I. and Hans will respond and will clarify what you need to do, because we want to set you up for success. We want you, each one of you that enter into this contest to win my Type 8E, we want to set you up for success and give you every opportunity to be victorious and to succeed. Not to mention, as Hans alluded to, because Hans and I have talked quite a bit about me traveling over to Norway to see him. And Bill is more of a homebody. You know, I mentioned it to him and he goes, boy, it sounds great, but I'm not really much of a traveler. So Bill has kind of taken himself off of that list. He certainly would be welcome. I know Hans would welcome him with open arms if Bill were willing to make a trip like that. But I think Bill has kind of taken his name off of that list, and that's perfectly fine. But I'm still very open to the idea of taking a trip over to Norway, and I think it would just be fabulous if one of your travel plans that you put together, identifying actual sites, maybe even some sites that Hans didn't point to that are regular tourist sites, and you really sold your story on, this is why you can't miss this place. You cannot miss this place, Scott and Bill. You've got to pick my travel plan, because these places I picked for you are the most fabulous places to see in Norway. Who knows, maybe I'll take your travel plan and Hans and I will actually put it into action in a future premiere where I have a chance to go over and see him and visit his family and visit his dog and visit everybody over there in Norway. And obviously I'll be shooting video of that and releasing those as premieres as Hans and I go around that beautiful country, and also probably pop into Sweden and who knows, maybe other places as well. But wouldn't it be a feather in your cap if not only did you win the contest, but when we made that trip eventually, if we said, oh, by the way, we're using so-and-so's travel plan and we're going to all the sites that they picked because they're fabulous. How would that feel? I mean, that would be awesome. So at any rate, I wish all of you the very best. And on behalf of Bill and Hans, I wish, they wish you the best as well, obviously, and great success in this contest. And just like with Bill's contest, as Hans said, Bill and Hans and myself are all going to be judges in this. But ultimately, because this contest is being built around the area that is the home area for Hans will have the deciding vote as far as who is picked as the winner. So I just want to make that really clear. Bill and I are going to chime in with our top picks, just as we did in the last contest for Kissimmee, Florida. See, I said it for you, Bill. Kissimmee. But ultimately, it's going to be up to Hans in saying, yep, I agree with you guys. Or, you know what? You guys have really good points. But this is the person I really think that deserves it. And this is why. And I would like to pick them. Then I'm going to tip my hat to Hans and say, all right, buddy, let's go with that. And I know Bill will as well, because that was the same courtesy that we were going to pay to Bill for the Kissimmee, Florida contest. But we were all in unison on that with picking, Mary Klein. So, at any rate, blah, 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 blah. So there's your prize right there in front of you on camera right now. You're going to get this incredible Type 8E, incredibly rare machine. And obviously, you've already seen the gorgeous case when I did the unboxing of this machine. Again, I did a trade for this machine. And I didn't really envision, I thought about it a little bit, but I really didn't envision the idea that I would be giving it away. But isn't that a story that I've already told about the 12K as well, that is now at Mary's house and is going to be an educational tool for her to use with her family and others that come to look at her collection. And when I bought that 12K from England, I never really thought about giving it away. When I just traded one of my Singer machines, my Singer 306, for this Type 8E, I really didn't think about trading it then. Not trading it, giving it away. When I traded for it, I didn't think about giving it away, but now I am. And that's okay, because the greatest opportunity, I think, is when you can share something. Kind of like with the recent story that I shared with you as well about Carolyn out in California and her situation in having a machine basically stolen from a service center. And now through the opportunity of having one in my collection, I'm able to make that situation right. So giving things away is it's kind of the way I was raised. And I think from the little bit I've learned of Hans and Bill, it's the way they were raised too. They have a very generous, giving spirit. And I think that that speaks very well to the character of someone when they're incredibly generous and when they can do things like this. And they have the opportunity to do it and they take advantage of it. So that's it. The contest is officially started. Get your submissions in. And you're probably going to ask me about an end date. So let me grab my phone back so I can pull up my calendar and see if I can come up with parameters for this contest as far as it's starting obviously right now. Let's see here. Month. Okay. Give me just a second here, folks. Okay, so the contest is officially starting today, which is October the 6th. I had to look at the calendar again. October the 6th, which is a Tuesday. October the 6th. And we are going to look at running this contest for about a month, like Hans had said. So let's see here, from the 6th to, give me a second here. My calendar is kind of displaying weird here. Let me just give me a second. So October the 6th, Tuesday. I just had a message come in and block my calendar. Sorry about that. Okay, so why don't we say this? Why don't we say the, we'll give it about 3.5 weeks. Why don't we say the 27th? The 27th of October. So the contest begins now, which is Tuesday the 6th of October, and it ends on Tuesday, October 27th. Okay? So there's your parameters. Your starting is today, the 6th. The ending contest is at midnight Central Standard Time on October 27th, which is a Tuesday also. So we're basically going from the 6th to the 13th to the 20th, and then ultimately to the 27th when the contest ends. Okay? So I wish you the very best. This ends the class, or in this case, the contest announcement. So let me ring the bell one more time and wish everyone the very best. And again, on behalf of Hans and Bill, wishing you the best as well. So go get them and write a great story about the two machines in Sweden. Write a wonderful travel plan for Norway and post that as soon as you're able, certainly before the 27th at midnight. And we will review it and we will announce the winner shortly after the contest ends. Okay? All right. God bless. And I wish you the very best again with this contest. It's a fantastic contest. Okay? Take care. Bye now.